வணக்கம் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். ஆன் பிஹாஃப் ஆஃப் ஆல் இந்தியா சிவில் சர்வீஸ் கோச்சிங் சென்டர் உங்களை மீட் பண்றதுல ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். இன்னைக்கு லாஸ்ட் மினிட் கரண்ட் அஃபேர்ஸ்ல வந்து we will have lots of information to see. So please stay tuned, and if you think I'm very slow, please you can tune it to 2x speed. And if you think I'm very fast, or I'm not having any clarity on any particular part, please comment in the comment box. After the video gets over, I'll be very glad to clarify your doubts. So with that note, let me move on to this particular session. Friends, there was a recent news about, there was a ad on Jammu and Kashmir developments. Especially, they were talking about 9 tunnel projects. So we have to know this 9 tunnel project, and there was something called as world's highest bridge. So world's highest bridge is was being constructed, and now it is being opened. This was on Chenab River. So this is very important. So this is the world's tallest highway bridge. It's a highway bridge and not a railway bridge. It's a highway bridge, and it is 35-meter in length. And if you understand earlier, the world's tallest was on Bapan River. So earlier it was a railway bridge above the Bapan River. So this, you have to understand, this was in China, and now India has beaten this record, and we are now having the world's highest highway bridge. So this you have to understand. And what about these 9 tunnel projects? If you understand these 9 tunnel projects, especially certain important things is Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee. So Shyam Prasad Mukherjee tunnel. This is a tunnel which is India's longest. It is India's longest. So this is India's longest highway tunnel, and it's Asia's longest also. And this you have to understand. This is on NH44. This is between Chenani and Nashri tunnel. This was constructed from 2011 and it was opened in 2017. So this is about Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee Tunnel project. And then we have another important project called Jawahar Tunnel project. So Jawahar Tunnel project, as you know, Jawahar is a name derived from our former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. So this is it is otherwise called as Pir Panjal Railway Tunnel. So it's a railway as well as a road tunnel. And this is on the Banihal Pass. So it's another name is Banihal Tunnel also. And this is on NH1A, which is a part of NH44 again. And this is connecting Srinagar to Jammu. And then comes another one more important tunnel. So we have 9 tunnel projects to discuss. And then we have Banihand Kwasigand tunnel. Friends, why am I discussing all these tunnels? Because it is in news, and they can ask you in the match the following, or in two different tunnels on two different statements they can ask you. So you have to be very clear. And also, how am I giving this important tunnels? 9 tunnels only, and 9 tunnels from the top priority to the lowest priority I'm giving you. But still, please do study it, study everything. So Banihal Kwasigan Tunnel is also in Pir Panjal range, so that is very easy. So Pir Panjal range, and then we have the Sojila Tunnel, Sojida Tunnel, and another tunnel called Izat Morph Tunnel. This is also in Sojila Pass. So this two important tunnel is very important for you. This Sojila Tunnel is in northeast Srinagar. It is Asia's longest road. This is the Asia's longest road, and it is connecting Srinagar to Leh. And what about this Izat Morph tunnel? It is passing through Sojila Pass that I have told you. And then comes another important tunnel called Nandini Tunnel. This is connecting Jammu and Srinagar. This is on the Nandini Wildlife Sanctuary. And another important tunnel is called as Pir Panjal Railway Tunnel. This is the longest railway tunnel. This is the longest railway transportation tunnel, which is almost 11.2 kilometers. And this is connecting Kwasigan to Baramulla. And then there is an important tunnel called Nilgiri Tunnel. Nilgiri Tunnel. This is a twin tube tunnel. Nilgiri Tunnel, which is a twin tube tunnel. And then another important tunnel, Chatirgala Tunnel. Chatirgala Tunnel, this is connecting Katur. This is in Katura and Doda district. Chatirgala Tunnel. And then we have something called as Atal Rohtang Tunnel. So it is named after our former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. This is Atal Rohtang Tunnel. So Rohtang. It is on the Rohtang Pass. It is passing through Rohtang Pass. So it is called as either Rohtang Tunnel or Atal Tunnel. And this is the world's highest highway tunnel. And this is passing through 9 kilometers, and this is beaten by the Chenab River tunnel. Okay, so this is the important tunnels that you have to understand. Next, the future nuclear power plants that I wanted to share with you, friends. The future nuclear power plants. We already learned about all the nuclear power plant reactors which are there in the India. We saw it in using a picture also. So what are the recent thing? I already told you something in Tarapur, Kaiga, and so on and so forth in Kalpakam. Some important new nuclear reactors that you have to know is Chulta. Chulta is in Madhya Pradesh. And if you consider Gorakhpur, it is in Haryana. Another one in Madhya Pradesh is Bhimpur. Bhimpur and Chulta is in Madhya Pradesh. And we have something in Rajasthan, that is Mahi Banswara. This is in Rajasthan. And we have Mitivirdi. Actually, this Mitivirdi was earlier planned, then dropped because of the resistance among the locals and some NGOs. And again, it is still being in proposal stage. So Mitivirdi in Gujarat and Kovada in Andhra Pradesh. And we have again in Jaitapur, Maharashtra. Jaitapur already there. Now, again, one more unit is proposed in Jaitapur in Maharashtra. Friends, if you consider in all these states, except for Gujarat and Rajasthan, these Madhya Pradesh, Haryana will be having the first ever nuclear reactors. So, நீங்க வந்து நம்மளோட sentenceல வந்து ஏதாச்சும் புதுசா ஒரு நியூக்ளியர் ரியாக்டர்ஸ் இருந்ததுன்னா, அதாவது குஜராத் இஸ் ஹேவிங் ஒன்லி ஒன் நியூக்ளியர் ரியாக்டர், தென் இட் இஸ் ரைட். Bigthavudi is now only in a proposal stage. So Gujarat is already only having one அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்கன்னா then it's right. So அந்த மாதிரி ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்ஸ்ல வந்து கேட்டிருந்தாங்கன்னா you have to make it right. And there is no nuclear reactor in Andhra Pradesh அப்படின்னா then it is also right, because there is no nuclear reactor. Now only they have proposed this Kovada. So, or they can ask you, Kovada is the first ever nuclear reactor proposed in Andhra Pradesh. Then it is also right. So, because that is the first ever nuclear reactor to be proposed. So, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கொஸ்டின் ஒரு இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் வந்து கேட்டிருக்காங்க. பட் அதை வந்து எப்படி டிஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணி அந்த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்ல கேட்கறாங்களோ அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி நீங்க ஆன்சர்ஸும் கொடுக்கணும். ஸோ அதனால யூ ஹவ் டு எவ்ரி இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் ஷுட் பி அனலைஸ்ட் அண்ட் யூ ஷுட் பி ஏபிள் டு come up with that right answer however it is asked. So that is very important for a aspirant like you. And இப்போ வந்து நம்ம பாலிட்டி கொஞ்சம் தாவிடலாம். ஓகே, ஸோ பாலிட்டியில டேபிள் ஆஃப் பிரசிடென்ஸ் படிச்சிருப்பீங்களான்னு தெரியல. ஸோ ஐ ஜஸ்ட் ரீகால். ஸோ டேபிள் ஆஃப் பிரசிடென்ஸ்னா என்னன்னா, if at all if there is any program, who has to be honored first, and the rank, the hierarchy or the ranking or the privileges or and the immunities that are given you should be knowing at least 2 or 5 ranks or 6 ranks வரையாச்சும் தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். இல்லைன்னா சம்டைம்ஸ் வந்து கொஞ்சம் கன்ஃபியூசிங்கா கேட்கும்போது அந்த விஷயம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். So who is first? Obviously it is president, then comes the vice president, then it is the PM, and then only the governor, then comes the former prime ministers, former presidents, then the deputy PM, then it is CJI, Speaker of Lok Sabha, then cabinet ministers, then the chief ministers, then the planning commission. Now it is Niti Aayog. So then the former prime minister. So here only the former prime ministers are coming. So former president is here, but former prime ministers are here. And if you understand, the governor is here after the prime minister only. So please do look after this thing. So this is how it goes. And if you consider the CJI, if you consider CJI standing here, but if you consider the judges of the Supreme Court, they are very low and very back in the president, not low in rank. They are coming very back of the table of presidents. So that you have to understand. Then judges of Supreme Court, then only UPSC, election commissions, chief election commission, then CAG is as a table of presidents. So all these, and here between them, leader of opposition in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, Bharat Ratna awardees, they are all coming. They are all coming after former prime ministers. After former prime minister, leader of opposition, Bharat Ratna awardees, and then we will have ambassadors of other countries, and then we will be having the CMs, chief ministers of the state. What is this chief minister and this chief minister differences? Chief minister in that particular state, he will be having the highest president. But if he is a chief minister of some other state, he will be having the precedence here. This is CM of other state. So if at all there is a bigger summit happening in OMR in Mahabalipuram, and all president and prime ministers are coming, and even all the chief ministers are coming. Our chief minister, that is Tamil Nadu chief minister, will be honored first, followed by the planning commission, former prime minister, leader of opposition, Bharat Ratna awardees, ambassadors, and then only the CMs of other states will be honored. So this is the table of precedence that you have to understand. Then what is the another important information? The fundamental rights that are being shared by, or fundamental rights that are exclusive for citizens alone. Exclusive for citizens. Only the citizens have these fundamental rights. It is 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So this is the important information that you have to do. Other than this fundamental rights, all other all aliens, that is friendly aliens, and the citizens are sharing. So this is for the exclusive citizens. And another information is WPA Act, that is Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, is giving rise to the Central Zoo Authority, and we have this National Board for Wildlife. We have National Tiger Conservation Authority. So these are the important authorities which are being they are statutory because of the Wildlife Protection Act. So these information you have to know. And from this Environmental Protection Act, also we have certain authorities like Central Groundwater Authority. They are having from this EPA, and also we have this Water Act, which give rise to Central Pollution Control Board. So these things you have to understand. And there was a recent news about WIP. So WIP is one information which is not there in the Lakshmikant. So I wanted to give you about the WIP and the bail information, because in the UPSC they have asked about furlough, pardoning powers. If you know, there is something called as review petition. And above this, we have this curative petitions. So friends, if you understand, the petitions goes from there. If you are going with the case to the district court, the petition goes to the high court, then the petition goes to the appeal. So the appeal, if I have to say properly, it is an appeal. Appeal petition goes to the High Court, then the appeal goes to the Supreme Court, then the appeal stops. So in the Supreme Court, if at all there is a there is a judgment given, what is it final? No, it is called as final and binding, but still you can again appeal within the Supreme Court itself. That is called as review petition. So you are asking for a review of the judgment. And even if you're not satisfied with this, you can go for a curative petition then. This is what happened. I can quote some example like Section 377. So Section 377, which is criminalizing the transgenders, or the which is criminalizing LGBTQ plus community for their consensual relationships. So there was a review petition that was raised because High Court had decriminalized, but Supreme Court again criminalized it. And then there was a review petition that went in, and then there was a decriminalization of the Section 377 in terms of for the LGBTQ community. So, but the unnatural unnatural sexual relationships with animals and all is still a criminal act. Only the terms of relationship with the homogeneous community or the homosexual relationship is not criminalized. So this you have to understand. Unnatural sexual relationships with animals, or that is criminalized still. So there are certain very clarification that you have to understand. So this is review petition. So if I am not satisfied with the review petition, I can go for curative petition within the Supreme Court itself. And if you consider the constitutional bench, we don't have a constitutional court. We only have a constitutional bench. The constitutional bench is usually formed with more than 5 judges. So this you have to understand. And what is the difference between the High Court of or the courts of USA and the courts of India? You have to be very clear about. So all these things, like even with respect to the judges, their retirement age, there is no retirement for the US court. They serve till the death. While in case of the courts of India, we have a retirement age for the Supreme Court and as well as the High Court judges. And so all this information that you have to know. So coming back to this whip. So we have seen the table of precedents, and now coming to the whip, there is something called as 10th schedule. What is this 10th schedule? Please comment in the comment box. It is related to what is the 10th schedule in the Constitution, if I have to be very clear. 10th schedule in the Constitution is relating to anti-defection. So if I'm elected from BJP or Congress, I should not jump to Congress or BJP otherwise. So if I'm elected from X party, I should be staying in X party. I should not jump to Y party after getting elected. So that is wrong. That is called as defection. So there is a law against defection, which is called anti-defection law. So this anti-defection law is giving, or it is strengthening the whip. Whip is not mentioned in Constitution, friends. It's not mentioned in the rules of the Parliament. It is not mentioned in the any parliamentary statute or any laws. It is only a convention. Convention means ஒரு பழக்கம் தான், ஒரு காலகாலமா ஒரு ஃபாலோ பண்றது. The whip வந்து it is just a convention. It is a parliamentary convention and it is not followed during presidential elections. அது என்ன நான் அப்புறம் explain பண்றேன். So what is a whip? If you are not understanding what is a whip, simply whip is a person who is selected from the political party. ஒரு political party there will be a whip. So a political party will be appointing somebody as a whip. It will be a senior political person. So like XY party will be appointing ABC person as a whip. This ABC person will be giving instructions to the members of the party, members of the XY party, to do what? To do whatever he says in the Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. So say for example, if there is a person from BJP who is called a BJP's whip. BJP's whip and BJP's leader of the house will be different. BJP's president of the party will be very different, or it can be the same. Okay, it can be the same person, but I'm saying this is a different post. President of the party is a different post. Leader of the house is a different post. Whip is a different post. What is a whip? Whip actually, if at all, say there is a bill which is coming in a parliament. The bill is put for vote. The bill is put for vote. The members of the BJP should follow what the whip says. So the members of the BJP will follow what the whip says. If the whip says to vote for this as yes, they will vote yes. If they say no to vote for no to this bill, they will vote no. So this is what the members of the particular political party have to obey this whip. So this whip, why the whip is there? This whip is there to organize and to stabilize the party, and also to have a collective responsibility within the thing, and also in the legislature. So collective responsibility is indirectly ensured by this whip, but it's not a direct thing. Whip is having no role. Whip is not a as I said, it's not mentioned in the constitution, rules and laws. It is just to maintain the party's decorum. Maintain the party's decorum. Decorum means the proper order. So party's decorum. It is not for the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha's decorum. It is for the party's decorum. So that is why BIP is there. If at all, if the person from BJP or from Congress is not following this whip, the whip will call for, whip will say that he has defected from the party, or he has to be punished under anti-defection law, and he will raise it to the Speaker of the House or Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So like this is how the whip is having certain powers indirectly through anti-defection law. He's not having any power through constitution or rules of the House or the parliamentary statutes. So what is the other thing about the whip? There is 3 types of whips. This is where the questions can be asked. There are 3 types of whips which you have to understand. First line whip, second line whip, and third line whip. First line whip will only say to be present or not be present. So ஒரு பில்லோ இல்ல ஒரு டிஸ்கஷனோ பண்றாங்க ஹவுஸ்ல அப்படின்னா, whether the particular member has to be present or they have to be absent. So that is what is the first line whip. And in the second line whip, they have to be present as well as they have to vote, or they have to be present and they have to not vote, or they have to be present or they have to be absent and not vote at all. So like this, that will be the second line of. Third line of whip is what is very important. Third line of whip will say whether to vote yes or no. So if at all the whip is only giving a first line instruction, then the member can obey or disobey. But if he is giving this third line of instruction, he has to obey. So if at all he is not obeying, the whip will call for anti-defection against him. So this is how you have to understand about this whip. And whip's words are not obeyed during presidential elections. As you all know, presidential elections happens. Say, for example, Congress is nominating one candidate, and BJP is nominating one candidate. Earlier, this election was used to happen in open ballot system. Now it has been converted to a secret ballot system. I'm not going very deep, friends. Whip is having a lots of disadvantages, which I will not be talking about. It is hampering the independence of a particular member. I'm not talking about all that. Just remember, presidential election, there is no whip, or even whip says anything, the member need not follow. Whether it is first line, second line, or third line, the member need not follow during the presidential elections alone. Otherwise, he has to follow the whip's word. Otherwise, he will be suffering from this anti-defection procedures. And if you consider Rajya Sabha election, again Rajya Sabha elections, the member has to follow the whip's word. And also this Rajya Sabha elections is happening in an open ballot system. அதாவது the whichever member from BJP whom he is voting, we will know. Whichever members from Congress whom he is voting, we will know. So யாருக்கெல்லாம் யாரு ஓட் பண்றாங்கன்னு இந்த ஓப்பன் பேலட் சிஸ்டம்ல தெரிஞ்சிடும். ஆனா இந்த சீக்ரெட் பேலட் சிஸ்டம் நடந்ததுன்னா அது வந்து யாருக்கும் தெரியாது. So BJP person can vote for the Congress candidate and the Congress members can vote for a BJP candidate. So this is very important for you to understand. Then a quick scan through about the important schemes, friends. So certain schemes which I found very important, we will learn in this class and the next class also. So Swadesh Darshan 2.0. What is this Swadesh Darshan 2.0? Friends, Darshan means some pilgrimages. So it is related to some tourism. So Swadesh Darshan 2.0. So Swadesh Darshan 2.0, earlier that's 1.0 was a theme-based tourism. What is this theme-based tourism? You will be visiting all the Buddhist circuit, or you will be seeing all the freedom fighters houses, or you will be seeing all the temples, so temple circuits. So these are theme-based tourism. Swadesh Darshan 1.0 was a theme-based tourism, but Swadesh Darshan 2.0 is now a destination-based tourism and not a theme-based tourism. So they have moved away from this theme-based tourism to a destination-based tourism, and this is 100% centrally funded. And this is also using CSR funds. What is the CSR? It is a corporate social responsibility wherein the corporates who is having certain turnovers must give 2% of their profit for the social welfare activities. So that is CSR fund. So this CSR fund is coming from Companies Act 2013. That you have to understand. So this is the information that I'm passing on, an additional information. This is how you have to connect from all the already information that you know. So Companies Act 2013. So this is a tourism for improving the generational shift, that is to make the generations to be sustainable and to be responsible in tourism. Another scheme is PM Mitra. What is this PM Mitra is? Mitra. So Mitra parks are being developed. This is under Ministry of Textiles. This is under Ministry of Textiles. This is very important. This is for increasing the innovation and other things for the textiles production. That's all. So Mitra is related to textile. That is what very important, because most of the times we are unable to understand for which that scheme is. That is where the questions are asked. Simply, PM Mitra is related to which of the following ministry? Simply they will be asking. Wherein that is a very, they look very simple question, but we don't know the answer because we are not understanding Mitra is for textiles. So earlier I told you something called I think for the sanitation workers. So like this, there is certain things that you have to remember. And RBI has launched some important scheme for the digital promotion. That is Har Payment Digital. Har Payment Digital. So RBI has really started the scheme. So certain schemes are being done by this RBI. So Har Payment Digital, this wherein the RBI will be adopting, they will be adopting 75 villages. It is villages. They will be adopting 75 villages to teach them to create awareness for digital payment. So this is the simple scheme for, but we have to know this is done by RBI. And then there is something called a Swami Investment Fund. Swami Investment Fund. What is the Swami Investment Fund? This is to invest on the housing projects, but not a new housing project. It is for stalled housing project. What is stalled housing projects? Any project which is delayed for any problems. ஏதாச்சும் ஒரு ஹவுசிங் ப்ராஜெக்ட் வந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாம அது வந்து ரொம்ப நாளா வந்து அது ப்ரொபோசல் ஸ்டேஜ்ல இருக்குது, இல்லைன்னா லேண்டை வாங்கிட்டோம் அதுல வந்து வீடு கட்ட முடியாம போயிடுச்சு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட் வந்து ஸ்டால் ஆயிட்டே இருக்கு, டிலே ஆயிட்டே இருக்குதுல்ல. அந்த மாதிரி project தான் the Swami Investment Fund will look after. So they will be investing on the stalled housing projects, and they will be ensuring that the delivery of the apartments to home buyers, or apartments or anything to the buyers. Say for example, there is a project, there was a real estate project which has been the promoter has got money from various people. He is saying that we will construct different houses. They have got the money from the home buyers, but the project has not started. This promoter can get fund from this project, this fund, and create a construct apartment and give the houses to the home buyers. So all these things is very important. And this SWEMI investment fund is a category 2 all alternative investment fund. So alternative investment fund category 2 is where SWEMI investment fund is here. And this is under the Ministry of, it is sponsored by the Ministry of Finance, and it is managed by SBI CAP. And who all can get the investment fund? யாராச்சும் போய் வாங்கிட முடியாது ஃபண்ட். நான் எனக்கு ப்ராஜெக்ட் ஸ்டார்ட் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு எல்லாரும் ஃபண்டை வாங்கிட முடியாது. All those only who have registered in RERA. This is Real Estate Regulatory Authority. Those who have registered in this RERA only can get this fund. And if their houses is being stalled, only then they can get the fund. And this is being sponsored by Ministry of Finance, and it is being managed by the SBI CAP Ventures Limited. And this is belonging to a category 2 alternative investment fund. Friends, I've already told about alternative investment fund. There are certain investment funds which are provided for infrastructures or from real estates. Those are called as alternative investment funds. Even for hiring, renting, those are called as alternative investment funds. There is something called as Atal Bhujal Yojana. Atal Bhujal. Friends, there are certain confusions which happens. There is something called as Jal Jevan Mission. There is something called as PM Krishi Sinchai Yojana. So all these, you have to be very clear what is the purpose of that particular yojana and which ministry it is there. And this is belonging to Ministry of Water Resources, River Development, and Ganga Rejuvenation. So this is Water Resource Department, or Water Resource Ministry is where Atal Bhujal Yojana is. Bhujal, this Bhujal is denoting groundwater management. Groundwater management, and this is not in every district. In all districts, this scheme is not being implemented. Only in the water stressed districts, this particular yojana is being implemented, and this is having a fund from World Bank. So World Bank approved fund is provided to this Atal Bhujal Yojana. So this is about Atal Bhujal Yojana. And there is something called as PMGIVAN, Jeevan Yojana. This Yojana is Jaiv Indan Vatavaran. Jaiv Indan Vatavaran, or however they pronounce it. Avashesh Nivaran Yojana. This is for bioethanol projects, friends. This is for bioethanol project. Already I told you something related to biodiesel, bioethanol, biogas. These are, or ethanol project as such, is related to the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. So this ministry is for this PM Jeevan also. So PM Jeevan, this is for bioethanol project, especially for second generation biofuel. Second generation is from the non-food sources. It is not from the food sources. It is not from the algae. It is not from the GMO or crops. It is from the non-food sources, which is like the residues, crop residues, like rice or husk, இதெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணி பண்றதுதான் second generation ethanol. So second generation ethanol is being promoted through PM Jeevan schemes. So this PM Jeevan is, again I'm telling you, it is Jaiv Indan Vatavaran Anukul Fasal Swasesh Fasal Avashesh Nivaran Yojana. So that is the expansion. Then there is something called as Samarth scheme. Samarth scheme. This Samarth scheme is for again textile. This is for job creation in the textile industry. So job in organized textile industry and related sectors, but not in spinning and weaving. Not for spinning and weaving. It is for every job creation in the textile industry and the allied industries of textiles, but not for spinning and weaving. This is done in association with skilling by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And this is very important. The implementation is done by Ministry of Textiles only. Ministry of Textiles only does the implementation. But this Samarth scheme still, since it is involved in skilling, it is also done along with the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So Samarth scheme வந்து textile industry related job creation தான் இதோட team. இது வந்து implement பண்றது Ministry of Textile. But skilling part வந்து Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship பண்றாங்க. So this is about this particular Samarth scheme. So Samarth skilling for textiles. இது ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க அவ்வளவுதான். Samarth scheme. And then Vaibhav Fellowship. Vaibhav Fellowship is for higher education. Those who are interested in research are given the push for this. Okay. So the collaboration with top international institutions, they are promoting the research in higher education. And this can be benefiting NRIs, PIOs, and OCIs. What are NRI? Non-resident Indians, person of Indian origin, overseas citizens of India. இது ரெண்டு merge பண்ணிட்டாங்க. Okay, friends, இது ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. So it is not for domestic citizens. It is for the NRIs as well as PIOs and OCIs. And top 500 top rankல இருக்கிற QS World Ranking Instituteல topல இருக்கவங்களோட collaborate பண்ணி research develop பண்றதுக்காக இந்த Vaibhav Fellowship is being used. So this is about one important scheme on higher education. And there is something called as Prime Minister Jan Aushadhi. I already told you about Jan Aushadhi. Jan Aushadhi Pari Yojana. Jan Aushadhi is something pharmacy centers that are open to provide affordable generic medicines. So that is Jan Aushadhi. So Jan Aushadhi is providing generic medicine at affordable rate. They'll be creating some pharmacies across India. This being implemented by Pharma and Medical Bureau of India. Medical Bureau. So Bureau of India. So this is under the Department of Pharmaceuticals. This is under Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. So that you have to understand. So PM Jan Aushadhi Pari Yojana. This is so Ministry of Health as well as Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers will be coming. Then another important thing is Atmanirbhar Clean Plant Program. Atmanirbhar Clean Plant Program. What this is clean plant? Clean plant here is representing all the fruits and other horticulture products. Horti products. This is being developed through PPP board. This is being implemented by National Horticultural Board. The implementation is done by the National Horticultural Board. This is Atmanirbhar. Atmanirbhar, you all know. This is for the self-reliance of India. So this you have to know Atmanirbhar Bharat. So this is important. So Atmanirbhar Clean Planet Program is for the fruits and horticulture production. So this is about Atmanirbhar Clean Plant Program. And then we have this Vibrant Villages Program. Vibrant Villages Program. What is this Vibrant Villages Program? This is to develop the rural areas in the northern border states. It is for the border states. It is northern border states, which means all the bordering states of Pakistan, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Nepal, Bangladesh, everything will be there in this Vibrant Villages program. This is to develop them to boost the population present there. Usually, the population is very small, little or sparse because of the security problems there. So this Vibrant Villages program is to increase the population. The purpose is this, and this is for 2 years. And there is a fund from the central government. Central government will be allocating, and the panchayat will be creating a plan. They will be providing the village action plan, and they will be executing it. And this is very important. So Vibrant Villages program is very important. There is also another development program by the border area development program is there, but this is very different from the this. So all the states which are being developed by BADP, this will not be for overlapping. There will not be any overlap between these two. This will go in a different path. This will go in a different path. So that you have to understand. Then there is something called as Jal. So there is Jal Jan Abhiyan. So Jal Jan Abhiyan. This Jal Jan Abhiyan is under Ministry of Jal Shakti. So Jal Shakti plus this is being implemented by Ministry of Jal Shakti and Brahma Kumari. What is this Brahma Kumari? This is a spiritual organization. Spiritual organization. This Brahma Kumari. This is a spiritual organization. This is developing water bodies in the Rajasthan, especially in the Abu Road, near the Abu Road of Rajasthan. They're developing and they're conserving the water bodies. So Jal Jan Abhiyan. Jan means people, Jal means water. So Jal Jan Abhiyan means Ministry of Jal Shakti, as well as this Brahma Kumari. It's a spiritual organization. They're they're conserving and they're renewing the water bodies in the Rajasthan, certain districts of Rajasthan. And there is something called as National Infrastructure Pipeline. National Infrastructure Pipeline. This is for 5 years. This is creating social as well as economic infrastructure. Friends, it's not just infrastructure means just economic infrastructure like roads, airports and all. It is also social like hospitals, schools also being developed. And the funding pattern is like this. Central government, state government and the private. The funding is like this. That is, central government will be providing 39%, state government 41%, and the private the remaining, that is around 20%. So this is how the funding is, and this was being proposed by our Aruno Chakravarti. A task force was formed under Aruno Chakravarti to create this national infrastructure pipeline. So this is very important for you to understand. And there was another scheme called as Namaste. This I have already told you for sanitation workers. What is sanitation workers? Those who are cleaning the drainage systems or called as sanitation workers. This is a collaborative effect of Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. This is to skill the sanitation workers and no fatalities. That is zero fatalities to be ensured. So what is that means? Sanitation workers should be provided with adequate ப்ரொடக்ஷன் எக்யூப்மெண்ட்ஸ். அவங்க வந்து ட்ரைனேஜ் கிளீன் பண்ணும்போது ஒழுங்கா ப்ரொடக்ஷன் எக்யூப்மெண்ட் ஒரு ப்ரொடக்டிவ் கியர்ஸோ ப்ரொடக்டிவ் சூட்ஸோ போட்டு தான் அவங்க உள்ள போகணும். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி விஷயங்கள்லாம் வந்து இது பண்றாங்க. பட் இங்க வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா நோ கான்டாக்ட் இருக்கணும் அப்படின்றாங்க. அதாவது சானிடேஷன் ஒர்க்கர்ஸ் ஷுட் ஒர்க் வித்வுட் எனி கான்டாக்ட் வித் த ட்ரைனேஜ் வாட்டர் ஆர் த அன்கிளீன் வாட்டர். So friends, you understand there are different kinds of water. Waterல வந்து different waters இருக்கு. Green water, black water, gray water, So these important water that green water is the rainfall water, black water is the unclean water with the fecal matters, and gray water is again unclean water, but not with the fecal matters, but other thing. Like if you have washed a car, those are gray waters. You can use it for the kitchen garden. So you can recycle, or you can reuse it. You can reuse this gray water. Black water cannot be reused. You should recycle it with proper treatment. So that is how you have to understand this kinds of water. And there are something called as water footprint. Different colors of water footprint, which you have to understand. So again, this green, black, gray water footprint is there. So that you have to understand. I'm not going deep into that. I've already told you in another class. And then we have something called as PM Vikas. So PM Vikas means it's Vishwakarma Kaushal Saman. Vishwakarma Kaushal Saman. Friends, Kaushal means most of the times Kaushal word denoting skilling. Here Vishwakarma denotes craftsman or craftspeople or crafts worker. So craftsman or crafts worker or craftspeople is now denoting Vishwakarma. What is actually the scheme is for? The scheme is for skilling the craftsman. So craftsman who it can be, like he can be a blacksmith or goldsmith, or he can be a carpenter, any kinds of crafting that he knows. He can be doing pottery, any crafting work that he has done. He has already a skill that will be improved. He'll be more skilled using this PM Vikas scheme. Then there is a Mishti scheme that was in the budget, which I have already discussed. It is for this mangrove development. So mangrove development, this is using Campa fund, and also it is developed through MGNREGA work. So MGNREGA workல வந்து mangrove develop பண்ணலாம். So அந்த மாதிரி இந்த ஸ்கீம்ல வந்து Mishti is the scheme. And then there is something called as PMPranam. Pranam, this scheme is for, again this was in the budget. This scheme is for P means the program for restoration, awareness, nourishment, and amelioration of Mother Earth. So Mother Earth, this is under the Ministry of Fertilizers or Chemicals and Fertilizers. This is very important, friends. PMPranam. This is under Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. This is to improve or it is to provide alternate fertilizers, which is less chemical and more natural. So that is what this scheme is about. Okay, especially bio fertilizers or biogas. There is another scheme for biogas. What is that? It is Gobardhan, for Gobar gas. So Gobardhan scheme that you all know is for the Gobar gas. Gobar gas is obtained from cow dung. So similarly, what are the fertilizers which can be used without or with less of chemicals is promoted to PMPranam. This is again under Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. And this Gobardhan scheme is actually for converting the waste to wealth. So that you have to understand. And then there is something called as Jal Jevan Mission. Jal Jevan Mission. This Jal Jevan Mission is for tap water connection for all household. So friends, இப்போ பாத்தீங்கன்னா வந்து இதுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்தீங்க less than 24% household தான் tap water connection இருந்தது. அதாவது யூஸ்வலா வந்து நம்ம வந்து நான் சின்ன வயசுல இருக்கும் போதே வந்து ஐ ஹவ் சீன் ஒரு ஒரு டேப் வாட்டர் இருக்கும், ஒரு ஃபுல் தெருக்கு, அதாவது ஒரு 100 ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்ஸ்க்கு வந்து அங்க ஒரு டேப் வாட்டர் இருக்கும். இதே ரொம்ப புவரான ரீஜன்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா 500 ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்ஸ்க்கு வந்து ஒரு டேப் வாட்டர் இருக்கும். அதுவும் ஒரு நாளைக்கு வந்து ஒரு 2 to மார்னிங் 5 to 6 7 PM தான் அந்த தண்ணி வரும். 7 AM தான் தண்ணி வரும். அப்போ வந்து எல்லாரும் வந்து பிடிச்சுக்குவாங்க. ஒரு பெரிய கியூ இருக்கும். எல்லாரும் சண்டை போட்டுக்குவாங்க. It happens every day. And for this, everybody has to get up very early, start standing in the queue and everything. But this Jal Jevan Mission has transformed everything. This is to provide tap water connection to individual households. So that is what this Jal Jevan Mission is, to all households. And here we have achieved the 100% household connection of the tap water in Goa, Puducherry, and certain districts also, especially Goa and Puducherry. 100% tap water connection for all households. This is under Jal Jeevan Mission that you have to understand. Then there is something called as soil health card. Soil health card, what is this? We have already discussed. This will be providing the health of the land. இப்போ ஒரு farmer வந்து if he is having a land, he will get a soil health card assessing his land to understand how much fertilizers he has to use, what is the nature of the soil, how what are the nutrients it is having already, and what are the nutrients it's not having. So what are the fertilizers it should be having, it should be added with it. So அதெல்லாம் வந்து தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு தான் இந்த soil health card. This will be assessed every 3 years. எவ்ரி 3 இயர்ஸ் வந்து அந்த சாயில் அசஸ் பண்ணி என்ன ஃபர்டிலைசர் யூஸ் பண்ணணும், என்ன மாதிரி கிராப்ஸ் அங்க கல்டிவேட் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு வந்து தே வில் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். அண்ட் ஆல்சோ ஹவு மச் வாட்டர் ஷுட் பி used, because every types of soil requires different kinds of water. So that is how this particular soil health card is very useful. There is something called as Kalia Scheme. This is a state scheme. Kalia Scheme is a program of Odisha. This is for cruise check assistance for livelihood income augmentation. So this is for income augmentation, and it's a job creating scheme of Odisha. So that is about thing. There is something called as Parak. What is this Parak? Parak is a performance, or this is to assess the learning outcomes, friends. Simply, learning outcomes are being assessed using this Parak. So they will be assessing the higher secondary and higher secondary students. Higher secondary students. This is not a school assessment survey. It is total district level or block level or state level assessment. This is under NCRT. This is very important. And this is a part of the National Education Policy 2020. This is for performance assistance and analysis. So performance assistant analysis of knowledge for holistic development. So this is what is the expansion of this thing. What is it actually, friends? இப்போ நீங்க வந்து ஸ்டேட் போர்ட்ஸ்க்கெல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, ஸ்டேட் போர்டு எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டேட்லயும், இப்போ ஆந்திர பிரதேஷ் எடுத்துக்கோங்க, தமிழ்நாடு எடுத்துக்கோங்க. தமிழ்நாடுல ஒரு விதமா வந்து they will be assessing the grade of each students. Here they will be assessing the grade in different manner. So it will be different standards which is being followed in the state boards itself. So it is very confusing. Say for example, there is a student who has completed 12th in Andhra Pradesh. She wants to take a medical college in Tamil Nadu. So the assessment that is provided to her in the 12th standard in Andhra Pradesh. So Andhra Pradesh state board is very different from the Tamil Nadu state board. The syllabus is different. The marking is different. The grading given is different. So when she wants to go from this board to that college, or Andhra Pradesh to College of Tamil Nadu, she will be finding it difficult to get a place, to get a seat, admission in the colleges. So this particular Parak will be providing a uniform standard scoring method for all those students. Even now when the college school படிக்கும்போது I had a problem when I was I'm a student of ICSE. So ICSE படிச்சுட்டு அந்த இதை வந்து அவங்க கன்வெர்ட் பண்றதுக்கு there was a different techniques. So I was not knowing all that. Another student who were from CBSE, she had a different thing. Similarly, if you have there is a different grading for between the state boards of different state itself. So இது வந்து central board, state board. இது வந்து ICSE is a different board. But I'm talking about here between different states board. So that you have to understand. Then there is something called as PMGarib KalyanYojana. So PMGarib KalyanYojana. So which means we are talking about the food. So here it is very different from the National Food Security. What is this National Food Security Act was providing? National Food Security Act was providing all those people who are below poverty line and some people from the above poverty line are provided food grains for rupees 1, 2, 3 of rice, wheat and coarse grains respectively. But here in this Garib Kalyan Yojana, people in the below poverty line are totally given a free food grains. And how much is given for them? 5 kilogram if they are normal people and 35 kilogram if they are the poorest of the poor. Poorest of the poor. அதாவது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப poor. So அவங்கள என்னன்னு சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா ஆந்தியோதயா அன்ன யோஜனான்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. இந்த ரொம்ப poorest of the poorக்கு வந்து ஆந்தியோதயா அன்ன யோஜனா. ஸோ இவங்களுக்கு 35 கிலோகிராமும் நார்மலா பவர்ட்டியில இருக்கவங்களுக்கு 5 கிலோகிராமும் கொடுத்துட்டு இருந்தாங்க. பட் இதுல வந்து அதே குவான்டிட்டி தான். But they are providing it free, not for 1 to 3 rupees. They're providing it free because this happened because of the pandemic. So pandemicனால இந்த ஒரு ஃப்ரீயா கொடுக்க வேண்டிய ஒரு கட்டாயம் வந்தது. So they are being provided with this thing. So almost more than 80 crore poor people are being provided with this free food grain. This is PMGKAY. So that is the Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. And another scheme which you have to know is PM National Apprenticeship. National Apprenticeship Prathosahan Yojana or Prathosahan Yojana. There was a recent Mela which was conducted. PM National Apprenticeship Mela. Friends, you all know what is apprenticeship. So apprentices, அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு apprentices or apprentices. So whatever they pronounce it, நம்ம பழைய ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் மூவி பார்த்துருந்தீங்கன்னா தெரியும். So this is very important. So Friends movie பார்க்கும்போது the Vijay and Surya will be the apprentices. So they will be getting the skills without any payment. So this is about the PM National Apprenticeship Prathosagan. So they will be getting the skills without any payment. But now some stipends is also being provided. So this differentiate between interns and apprentices. So if you consider this apprenticeship Mela, this is provided for the class 5 to 12 students and for the skill training. But the students has to have some certificates. Either they can have a diploma certificates or some certificates. This is done under Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And this is done in all the districts. So this is about the PM National Apprenticeship Prathosahan Yojana and Mela. And then there is something called as Aspirational Blocks Program. Friends, we already know Aspirational District Program. If you are very new, please know that there is something called as Aspirational District Program. This was already asked in the prelims, mains, UPSC mains. Now they have asked Aspirational Blocks Program. This is started by Niti Aayog. There is a 500 blocks. There is 500 blocks. They are provided ranking in the quarterly basis. Quarterly basis means every 4 months once. So this you have to understand. And this blocks is to improve the quality of life in the most backward blocks. So 500 blocks which are very backward, they are being developed through this Aspirational Blocks Program. They will be ranked. So நீங்க வந்து டெவலப் பண்றதுக்குன்னு நான் fund, government will provide the fund, and whomever is coming first, they will be ranked. So this is how this aspirational blocks program is being started. The principles of this aspirational program is competition, cooperation, convergence. What do you mean by all these things? If at all there is a X block, there is a Y block. X block is developing, Y block is developing. Now they will be starting to compete. X nalla develop achna, I will be funding more. Y nalla develop achna, then it will get funded more. So like this, they will be trying to develop. So that is how competition is very healthy. And cooperation and convergence certain things, they will be learning the best practices. So X will be developing good in water development, so Y will learn from that. So that is best practices which they will learn from each other, and there will be convergence of actions, there will be convergence of benefits and all. So this is about aspirational blocks program. And there is something called a sickle cell anemia elimination program. Sickle cell anemia elimination program. Friends, anemia is very bad, because there are almost 50 percentage more, especially the girls in the adolescent age, who are being affected by anemia. What is anemia? Anemia is simply the deficiency of, it's a deficiency syndrome wherein the HB level will be very low in the blood. Okay. What is sickle cell anemia means? Sickle cell anemia also means HB level will be low in the blood, but this sickle cell means the RBC, which is having the HP, will be in like a sickle shell shape. Sickle, if you understand, this sickle is used for cutting the crops. This is what sickle. Sickle is a instrument used to cut the crops. So cut the rice, rice, the grasses in which you are taking the rice from. So this is sickle. So the RBC will turn into a sickle shape. So the depression is where the HP level goes down. So usually if it is in the normal round shape, the HP levels will be higher, but this will be becoming a sickle shell shape because of the HP levels which are very low. So this is sometimes endemic. Why I am calling endemic? It is affecting certain regions only. Not in every region, it is affecting in a certain regions. So this is sometimes endemic, especially for the tribal people. Most of the time, tribal people are being affected by the sickle cell anemia. So there is an important program to eliminate the sickle cell anemia. The target is 2047. So they have to eliminate sickle cell by 2047. And there was a monkeypox in news. Friends, in the last class, we studied about West Nile virus. This monkeypox is also a viral disease. So this viral disease is caused by this orthopox virus. This is a family of virus. Orthopox is the virus. In this family, we have smallpox also. We have something called as vaccinia virus also. And we have this monkeypox also. ஸோ இப்போ நம்ம வந்து இப்போ கேட் ஃபேமிலியில வந்து நம்ம வந்து கேட் இருக்கு, டைகர் இருக்கு, லயன் இருக்கு, அப்படி பேசுறோம்ல, அது மாதிரி தான் ஆர்த்தோபாக்ஸ் இஸ் அ வைரஸ் ஃபேமிலி இன் விச் வி ஹேவ் ஸ்மால் பாக்ஸ் இஸ் அ ஸ்பீசிஸ், as it can be a genus also. I think you have to recall the order: kingdom, order, family, phylum, genus. இதெல்லாம் வந்து நம்ம பயாலஜியில படிச்சிருப்போம். கேட் ஃபேமிலியில இதெல்லாம் இந்த ஸ்பீசிஸ்லாம் வருது, இந்த ஜீனஸ்லாம் வருது. இப்ப டைகர்லயே பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஸ்பீசிஸ் ஒயிட் டைகர், மெலனின் டைகர், இதெல்லாம் இருக்கு. ஸோ தீஸ் திங்ஸ் தட் யூ ஹாவ் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். ஸோ லயன்லயே பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஆப்பிரிக்கன் லயன், ஏஷியாட்டிக் லயன், இது வந்து டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஸ்பீசிஸ். ஸோ அதெல்லாம் கேட் ஃபேமிலியில வரும். ஸோ அதே மாதிரி ஆர்த்தோபாக்ஸ் வைரஸ்ல we have all these things. Small pox, if you understand, small pox have been eliminated We don't have any smallpox because we have completely vaccinated and we have eliminated smallpox. But monkeypox is the recent issue. There was a one death from Nigeria. So Nigeria is said to be the origination of this monkeypox, and we have infection in Kerala and other countries who's having a travel history from Nigeria. So நைஜீரியால இருந்து வந்திருக்க சில பேருக்கு வந்து இந்த மாதிரி monkey pox இருக்கிறதா ரிப்போர்ட் இருக்கு. So this monkey pox is not very fatal or not very infectious or not very dangerous like a smallpox. It's not very dangerous. And when this monkeypox virus was affected, the WHO declared public health emergency. Who declared public health emergency for this monkeypox virus. Now they have revoked this emergency. So monkeypox virus வந்து இப்போ ஒரு பெரிய பிரச்சனையே இல்லை அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இந்த public health emergency for monkeypox virus எடுத்துட்டாங்க. So this is why we wanted to talk about this things. And what about this monkeypox virus? How it is affected? It is affected through mammals, or the mammals are getting this monkeypox virus. Mammals means the animals like monkey, it can be rat, in any kinds of mammals, even humans, it is being affected. It is passed from the monkey to human. And this orthopox or the monkeypox virus is having a double stranded DNA. It is having a double stranded DNA. This is a genetic component of this particular monkeypox. So double stranded DNA. This is how you have to understand. And what are the symptoms? Usually rashes, fever, and the nerikati வந்து வீங்கிடும். That is lymph node வந்து swelling of the lymph node is there. And there is some treatment called tecovirimat or virimat or tecovirimat. This is a treatment, this is a drug which is provided, but there is no vaccines so far. But they say the smallpox vaccine itself will be helpful for fighting against this monkeypox virus because it's the same family. And for smallpox virus, they took the vaccine from vaccinia virus. That you have to remember, friends, because these two viruses are almost similar. The vaccine which is produced from this will be helped to act against this and also against this. So that is what you have to understand. So vaccine எப்படி produce பண்றாங்க அதெல்லாம் வந்து that is you have to know. Okay, so vaccine வந்து என்னன்னா vaccine can be produced through anything. They say for example, நான் வந்து vaccine என்ன இருக்குன்னா, vaccine will be having the antibodies. What is antibodies? Antibodies is some protein. It is a protein only. All are protein, enzymes, hormones, even our blood contains lots of proteins. So what antibodies is a protein which are produced when a person is coming in contact with a foreign antigen. What is an antigen? And everything is an antigen. Even my skin oda ஒரு செல் வந்து உங்க மேல பட்டுச்சுன்னா then it's also an antigen. It is a foreign antigen for you. Say my blood is coming in contact with your blood. It is a foreign antigen for you. So I cannot transfer blood to you. Okay, if only there is some matching between me and you, I can transfer my blood. Otherwise, your body will react against my blood and you will die or you will have certain allergy. So only they're first doing some assay or they're doing some testing before transferring blood. So I can transfer blood to you only if there is some compatible match between you and me. So this is what you have to understand. So why this blood from myself, when I'm giving blood to you, why you are reacting badly is my blood is a foreign antigen for you. So this is foreign antigen. So this foreign antigen is how our virus attack is also. So virus வந்து ஏதாச்சும் உள்ள வந்துருச்சுன்னா இல்ல ஒரு பாக்டீரியாவோ whatever be, some foreign antigen is coming inside, we create something called as antibodies. This is what our immune system will do. What is immune system? Immune system is the one which is creating immunity for our system. This immune system is formed by the WBC, that is white blood cells. Whenever there is some important or some foreign antigen which is coming, this WBC will be multiplying, especially the T lymphocytes. WBC, the T lymphocytes. In WBC, we have lots of categories: T lymphocyte, B lymphocyte, we have eosinophils, nucleophils, basophils. So we will just confine with this. So T lymphocyte, so it is producing this antibodies. This antibodies will fight against the virus. But sometimes this antibodies may not be able to fight against virus because this virus is very new and our body does not know which antibody will fight against this virus. So our antibody may be something common which may not work against this virus, but certain person. So say for example, there is some person called uh, Yum, and there is some person called Madhavi. The coronavirus is affecting both, but this person is able to survive and he has some antibodies which was able to fight against this corona. But Madhavi was unable to. She got severely affected. So what Madhavi does is Madhavi is getting the plasma of this M. This is called plasma convalescent therapy. Plasma convalescent therapy. Therapy. This is a therapy. It's a treatment. It's not a vaccination. It's a treatment therapy. So why am I getting the plasma of this particular person? Because this person has fought against the coronavirus through his antibodies, and this plasma, which is a part of his blood. So the blood is having the blood is which is flowing through his capillaries are having RBC, WBC, plasma, and platelets. This plasma is having, this is a watery component, this is a cell, this is a cell, this is a cell, but this is the water. This is the yellowish water that is found in the blood. So this plasma is having the antibody, that is corona antibodies, and this antibodies was able to fight against this person. So this is how this antibody is found to work. So and the antibody எனக்கு கொடுக்குறாங்க. So if at all this plasma, இந்த பிளாஸ்மாவை வந்து எனக்கு டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பண்ணி இந்த ஆன்டிபாடிஸ் எனக்கு யூஸ் ஆகும் ஆகலாம், இல்ல இந்த பிளாஸ்மா வந்து ஃபாரின் ஆன்டிஜன் சொல்லிட்டு எனக்கு வந்து ஏதாச்சும் அலர்ஜியும் நடக்கலாம். ஸோ இந்த அதாவது திஸ் பர்சன் ஷுட் பி ஏபிள் டு டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பிளட் டு மீ. அதாவது இந்த எம் வந்து he has the compatibility with me, then only he can transfer the plasma. Otherwise the plasma itself will affect me because it is again foreign antigen. So in the compatibility இருக்கும்போது இந்த plasma வந்து he will be Madhavi will get, and Madhavi will be able to fight against this coronavirus. So this is how this antibodies is working. So what is vaccine then? Friends, vaccine என்னன்னா இப்போ நான் ஆன்டிபாடிஸ் வந்து எப்ப ஜெனரேட் ஆகுது, ஒரு வைரஸ் வந்து உள்ள வரும்போது அப்போதான் ஆன்டிபாடி வந்து ஜெனரேட் ஆகுது. So which part of the virus, if at all I'm sending a part of the virus, again my body will produce the antibodies. Or if I'm passing the killed virus, again my body will produce antibodies. So in the மாதிரி வந்து they will be producing a vaccine out of the killed or a part of the virus. They will be providing it for a pig, or they will provide it for some animals which can create antibodies, and they will extract the antibodies and they will be using it as a vaccine. But here they can also use similar type of virus. They need not use the coronavirus. They can use SARS virus or MERS virus, which are again a corona family virus. So they will use this SARS virus or MERS virus, and then they will inject into the pig, and then they will generate the vaccine out of it. So this is how the vaccines are being generated. That is how you have to understand. There are some vaccines which are called as mRNA vaccine. Why it is mRNA vaccine? They are using this mRNA as a part to generate the antibodies, and then for using that antibodies, they are creating the vaccine. What is this mRNA? Friends, I already told you DNA or RNA is a genetic component of our body. We human has DNA as our genetic component. So genetic component we have in our nucleus, in our cell, we have something called as DNA. This is a double helix DNA. This is having some base pair called ATCG. Adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine. Adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. This is a pair, this is a pair. So it is called as base pair. And this DNA is having deoxyribose nucleus. So this is what this DNA is. So this DNA, we have as you know, this chromosome, 23 pairs of chromosome and 22 pairs is a normal chromosome, or so it is a body chromosome, or it is a body chromosome, and the another pair is the sexual chromosome, or that you all know. So this 23 pairs of chromosome is this chromosome will have DNAs. So in this DNA, each DNA will be in a double helix structure. So there will be pair ATCG that will be paired. And if you see some part of the thing, if it is producing some protein, it is called as functional and is called as gene. So this each part of some part of the DNA is called as gene. Most 99% of our DNA is non-functional. Only few parts are functional. And say for example, this gene is producing a protein. The DNA will not produce protein. The DNA will not produce the protein. What is this protein for? Say for example, my eyes are blue. My iris is blue. Say my iris is blue in color. My iris is blue in color. My friend's iris is green in color. Your iris is black in color. Why it is so? Because of my gene. The gene is producing certain proteins to have this appearance. So my appearance through my iris is coded in my genes. It is coded in my genes. So I have a different code. My friend has a different code. My another friend is having a different code, or you have a different code. So you have a different colors. You have different skin color. You have a different shape, or you have different length, breadth, everything. So all these are being decoded in this DNA. So this DNA is now converted into RNA, and then only the protein generation will happen. Okay, in this is for humans. This is purely for humans I'm talking about. What about for the very lower organisms, like bacteria, or for virus? They can have either a DNA or they can have RNA. So RNA will directly produce protein. If they are having DNA, they will convert into RNA and then they will produce proteins. Okay, so conversion of DNA to RNA is called as transcription. While conversion of RNA to some other thing and then to protein is called as translation. Okay, usually this RNA, mRNA, then is converted into ribosomal RNA, and then tRNA, transport RNA, and then they are producing this protein. Protein is what? It is simply the amino acids. So different combinations of amino acid will result in different things. Say different amino, say A. This pattern will produce, say, my saliva. Another pattern A, something will produce my blood. So like this, there are different kinds of amino acids which will work in different ways. That is how you have to understand. So this is simply some basics of this biology. So friends, there is something called as PM Annadatta I San Sanraksha Yojana or Sanraksha Abhiyan. Sanraksha Abhiyan. Simply, it is Asha scheme. Friends, earlier I told you something Asha and ANM. Asha and ANM both are coming under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, friends. It is Anganwadi workers who is coming under Ministry of Women and Child Development. Okay. So PM Annadatta I Sanraksha Abhiyan. This is PM Asha scheme. This is for this is a this is having three components. One is price support. Then is the price deficiency payment. Deficiency payment. Then is a pilot of private procurement and stocking. Please be very clear about what is this. What is this means? Price support. You all know price support. What is it? MSP. So price support is done through MSP. Usually this price support scheme, this is only for oil seeds and pulses, friends. This is the procurement is done by FCI, that is Food Corporation of India, and NAFED, National Federation. Okay, this NAFED and FCI is procuring oil and pulses on certain MSP or minimum support price. This is price support scheme. What is this price deficiency scheme? For certain oil seeds, they will not procure. They will not be getting that from buying it from farmers. They will only pay. They only pay the deficiency. What is deficiency here? Say, for example, government has allotted MSP rupees 50 for the oil seed, but in the market, the oil seed cost is only 45. Now, the government will pay the difference. So this is how the difference is paid. So the farmers is not affected by the market price. So he will sell it to the market, but he will be provided additional 5 rupees to his account, so that directly to his account, so that he is not being affected by very low price in the market. So that is how it is being paid. Why this price deficiency payment has been started is because we could not procure so much. We could not store it so much. இதை நிறைய வாங்கி நம்ம கவர்மெண்ட் ஸ்டோர் பண்ணும்போது என்னன்னா வெறும் அது வந்து எளிதா சாப்பிடுது. ஸோ அதனால வந்து திஸ் பிரைஸ் டெஃபிஷியன்சி பேமெண்ட் வாஸ் டன். ஃபார்மர்ஸ் நீங்க போய் மார்க்கெட்ல சேல் பண்ணுங்க. உங்களுக்கு ஏதாச்சும் பிரச்சனை இருந்ததுன்னா நாங்க வந்து அந்த டிஃபரன்சஸ் வந்து நாங்க பே பண்ணிடுறோம்னு சொல்லுவோம். ஸோ ஃபார்மர்ஸ் வில் பி வெரி ஹாப்பி. ஹி வில் கோ மார்க்கெட்ல வந்து 45 ரூபாய்க்கு ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணாலும் அவர் கவலைப்பட மாட்டார். பிகாஸ் கவர்மெண்ட் வில் பி ப்ரொவைடிங் த அடிஷனல் மணி if it is going low. அதனால இப்போ டொமேட்டோ வந்து 10 ரூபா தான் விலைக்கு வருது அப்படின்னா 10 ரூபானா ரொம்ப கம்மி தான். ஸோ அதனால வந்து கவர்மெண்ட் வந்து ஒரு பிளஸ் 20 rupees வந்து கவர்மெண்ட் கொடுத்துரும். So அதனால வந்து the farmers will not be affected by low prices of the market, because sometimes tomato prices are going up and down, onion prices go up and down, so the farmers are affected. So here, and what is this private procurement? Private procurement, simply you are asking the private agencies to procure it. இதுல வந்து கவர்மெண்டே ப்ரொக்யூர் பண்ணி எம்எஸ்பி கொடுக்குது. Here the government is not procuring, they are only giving the money as the difference of the money. Here they are asking the private to procure. So simply it means that government is not having enough, or government cannot hold all those products, or they need not hold all those rice வந்து நீங்க மார்க்கெட்ல போய் சேல் பண்ணுங்க, ஏதாச்சும் பிரச்சனைனா நான் பாத்துக்கிறேன், அவ்வளவுதான். இல்ல பிரைவேட் வந்து வாங்கி வச்சுக்கோங்க, they will sell like Reliance or some vegetable wholesalers like this. So this is about this thing. And Nikshay, the last one, Nikshay Poshan Abhiyan. This scheme is, or Nikshay Poshan Yojana. This is for TB patients. Nikshay, this is relating to TB. Poshan is for the nutrition. So this is to provide nutrition for the TB patient. This is a centrally sponsored scheme. This is under National Health Mission. This is to provide 500 rupees per month for the TB patients. for their nutritious food. So this is about the things. Thank you, friends. Hope this session was useful. Please comment in the comment box. Share certain information with your friends. All the very best. All the very, very best. Keep your mind cool and you will make it. We will meet soon in the for the mains. Okay, thank you.